give you guys a little bit of background now, not only on just how SuperSpeed golf works. How many people in the room, by the way, work with our SuperSpeed golf products? Just curious. You guys are usually on the forefront of everything here in Southern California, a little more progressive than something like that. That's fantastic. You know, we had huge junior programs at our facilities back in Chicago, and you know, we definitely were in that mindset of doing a lot of things other than just working on the golf swing. You know, a lot of athletic development. We actually had all of our golfers playing golf, both right-handed and left-handed, up until about the age of 12. We'd actually have tournaments sometimes where we'd have to compete against each other in opposite ways. It was amazing. We'll talk about some of the details of non-dominant training maybe at another time, but definitely a huge piece. And that's something that we kept in all of our SuperSpeed golf training, not only for juniors, but also for adults. Huge piece that can really help. So I want to go a little deeper though on this talk today. I want to share with you guys some of the background of why we're doing stuff with SuperSpeed and how it's really helping people physically, you know, on the whole, really, a whole chart of why it's helping people get better. If we start to look at this comprehensively, the first piece that we start to look at is genetics. Okay? Can we change our genetic code? No. Okay? Now, I want to clear up some cool research that's been done on this in the last few years. So we really can't change our genetic code. What we got is what we've got, right? Now, one of the cool things about our sport, and I think this is, there's not a ton of other sports out there that are like this, but if you notice, like, you see all shapes and sizes of golfers playing at the elite level, right? You know, if you're, you know, Justin Thomas, for example, you know, who's, you know, 5'9", 160 pounds or whatever, can still produce 180 ball speed. You know, that is an excellent opportunity for a lot of those junior athletes that are coming up and having a hard time in certain other sports. Like, I mean, I guess we can use Daisy as an example here if you don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, look at me, 5'5". Do you think I was born to be an NBA player? Probably not. So you've got to work with what you've got, right?
Yeah, and the cool thing though on the golf side is that we have all those different shapes and sizes. There's not like a huge genetic marker that says that person's going to be an elite golfer. You know, if you're 6'10", you got a real good chance of, you know, if you're going to be an athlete, you can be a basketball player, right? We don't have that now. So I think that's exciting. That's something that we should be telling all of our parents in these programs is that, you know, every person that steps into your program has the opportunity to develop the skills of being an elite player in this sport. Now, they might not all want to, but if we can give them that capacity, it's a huge thing. We're going to talk a lot more about that here in a little bit.
So, right off that, if you took two twins, right, identical twins, and you put them in radically different environments, one of them spent their whole life, let's say, running marathons since they were this high, and the other kid spent his whole life training for speed. When they grow up, there's going to be some differences in their athletic abilities, right? So our goal is we can actually manipulate how your genetic code expresses itself in accordance with the environmental demands. So if you're making your kids or your juniors train for speed, when they get into their 20s, they're going to have a lot more physical capability than those that haven't trained for speed as juniors.
Yeah, so a really cool thing about this is this whole concept is called genetic expression. We can go a lot further with talking about this, and will a little here, but it's key. What this means is, like Daisy said, like if you took identical twins, you put them in these different environments. Let's not talk about training for a second. Let's say you put one at the equator, you put another one in like Sweden, okay? By the age of 20, you may not even recognize those two girls are twins, right? And the reason is that because of their environment, different types of muscles are going to form. They might have different hair color a little bit based on different types of environmental stuff that happens with the sun. So all of this stuff is possible. And what this has done for us in a sports coaching world may not be obvious, but it is actually maybe the most important thing that's happened, in my opinion, in the last 100 years in sports. And that's that we now know exactly what types of skills we should train at different times in development for juniors to optimize their ability to learn those skills. What does that mean? That means that from the ages of about 5 to 7, for girls and boys both actually, speed is a huge thing. That's the best time in their life. We can teach them how to throw fast, run fast, jump high. A lot of those different speed areas are done. If that person doesn't work on those during that age group. It's not that they can't ever learn it again, but the capacity's gone down. So their absolute peak max that they can get to in their life has now gone down a couple rungs. Okay? So as junior coaches, how many people in here primarily coach junior athletes? I know this is a junior summit, but we have a lot. Okay, so what you guys have the opportunity to do, and again, this is another big piece of education I like to give to our parents in these programs. You guys have the opportunity to help these kids maximize their potential for athleticism. Right? And that's the way I would like to say it. Maximize their potential for athleticism. This chart that's up behind me is actually what we call a growth velocity curve. So the blue line in the back represents how fast a junior athlete is growing at every different point during their childhood. Bottom there is chronologically. This is from ages like 4 up to about 18 to 19. Okay? And we know that, again, there's different windows for different types of skills. Now, this doesn't mean that we only train speed in the ages of 5 to 7. We're going to train everything, but our emphasis should be more on speed. We know that between the ages of about 8 to 10, we can still train speed, we can still train power. Our emphasis should be a little bit more toward the skill type development. We know that right around their growth spurt, we should be again training speed and power. And this is really cool, but this puts out a great, I would say, just platform for exactly what you should be doing in your programs at different ages. There's actually a cool program coming out that's being launched with the PGA of America this year about junior golf coaching, and it lays this type of a curriculum out over a lot of years. So I really recommend you check that out. It was done in conjunction with the guys down at TPI. Actually put a lot of this together to give you an exact curriculum of how to optimize what you're training at different points over a kid's development. So, what does this mean? So we know that we can't change our genetic code. However, we do know that over the course of development, we can emphasize different types of skills to maximize capacity out of what we've been given genetically. All right? There's a couple things that this does. The first one I want to talk about is a little background on it. Let's go back just a second. So this is actually how muscles fire in our bodies, right? And how many people have gone through and done a lot of like motor learning training, like really looked into the science of how people learn and how this all works, right? So one of the main concepts there that you'll learn is that every movement that we know how to do, and golf is just another example of that, every movement that we know how to do is written in what we call a motor program in our brain. Okay? So that our brain has, it looks like the Library of Congress with all these different programs that can run different movements. For playing golf, we need a whole bunch of different ones for different types of shots and all kinds of different things. We have these motor programs. That motor program, when it runs, okay, that happens with a motor neuron in our brain, sends a signal down our nervous system to our muscles. Our muscles have little receptors that then receive that signal, and the muscle fires in response to that program. Okay? This is incredibly important to the whole background of SuperSpeed golf. In fact, that little chart right there is the whole reason that SuperSpeed golf works, and that our process gets a huge results in speed, is that we're able to not only improve the reaction speed of that muscle when it fires, but we can also improve how many of these motor units in your body are actually firing at any given time during a specific movement. Okay? We have like 100 million motor units in our body. It's a huge, huge, huge number. Okay, so again, just a little bit more background there on kind of what we're doing with how that works scientifically. Go ahead.
Quick question on that. First, I have a number. What's your number on how long it takes muscle to respond to the command of the brain?
Okay, yeah, I mean, it's like milliseconds, but the point here, and I think it's more important on how long it takes, it's also very important to note that that response speed can change, okay? What are some things that can change the response speed of a muscle? Okay, yeah, so the condition of the muscle, right? I think is definitely one that can happen. What else? Hydration, yeah, sure. I can definitely buy that. I think that's huge. Has anybody heard the term reciprocal inhibition? Okay? This is kind of a neat concept. So I'm going to actually have Daisy do something for me here real quick. This is not planned, guys. So just so you know, we're off the map here. Tangent. Okay. It's okay. I won't hurt you, I promise. Okay. We treat Daisy pretty well usually. So let's just walk Daisy through, let's say, let's say we're not dealing with kids here for just a second, but I just think this is also key, because how many, we also teach adults, okay? And we'll talk about how to fix this first, but most of your adults probably work in some kind of office, right? Would you agree with that? All right, so let's walk through a normal day for your normal client. So they get up in the morning, go downstairs, breakfast is ready. What do they do first? Probably eat breakfast, right? So Daisy's going to eat breakfast. Start eating breakfast. All right, she's eating breakfast. What's next? What do they do after breakfast? They get in their car. What do they do? They drive to work. Daisy, come on, let's see some driving. She's driving to work. What's next after that? They get to their office. What do? They sit down at their desk and they probably work on the computer. Daisy knows that well because she actually has been instrumental in building our new online certification program over the last year and has probably spent more time at a desk than she ever wanted to in her life. Neither here nor there. We'll talk about that program later. Okay, so they work, let's say it's like 11:30, 12. What do they do now? Go to lunch. They got to eat food again, right? So, eating food again. Yeah, she had a light lunch today. Okay, so anyway, we get back from lunch, get back in the office. What's next? More computer time, right? Okay, so now we're getting close to the end of the day. End of the day comes. What do we do now? Yeah, we're going to drive home. You might be excited to drive home. I don't know. It depends on the home, my friend. You get home. Let's say, okay, honey, I'm home. Dinner's ready. What's next? Sit down for dinner, right? Okay. Then, let's say after dinner, let's watch a TV show in the evening. We're all on the couch lounging. And then, I think this is the best part, how do most people sleep that do that all day? Any ideas? They lay on their side and they bend their leg like that. How long during that day was my hip flexor in fire? I mean, I don't know. I mean, we're probably talking 90+% of the day, right? So this whole thing of reciprocal inhibition, this theory, basically says that when a muscle is on tension for a long, long time, the muscle on the opposite side, which in this case is what? Your glute, which we all know is an incredibly important muscle to like postural stability and energy transfer and things like that in the golf swing, right? Essentially is shut off. So what that means is that motor unit, okay, the motor units that have connected our brain to our butt, essentially, have shut off. Okay, we no longer, they're not firing. So when that motor program hits and says go, we might get a different response of different muscles that are actually going to that same motor program. That's huge. Now, this is not something that we always see in kids. Unfortunately, I would say in a major way in the last probably 20 years, we see it a whole lot more. When you assess athletes, like you start to see kids that don't have good posterior chain stability and things like that. And a lot of times it's either due to just inactivity, not being out playing as many sports, but certainly something that is happening on a more common level. I think we can fight this in a big way in our junior golf programs, which I would personally rather call like junior athletic development programs focused on golf, but that's not good for marketing, right? That's really what we're doing. We're trying to avoid that situation with our kids, okay? We can build that up. We can really build that up. Okay, sorry, that was fun. Thank you, Daisy. That was good. Great job on sitting down. Okay, so kind of the next thing I think is really important. I'll let Daisy talk just a little bit about this in a second, actually. But the other thing that happens with this genetic code, and then also that genetic expression of our development, is that it produces a whole lot of different types of muscle fibers in our body, okay? So interesting question here. Golf is a very different sport to train athletes for than most that are out there, I would say. Is golf more, let's see, how many people think golf is like a marathon? Okay, it's okay, it's long, right? It takes a long time, 4 hours, about the same. How many people think golf's more like a sprint? Interesting, we have a 50-50 split on the room, Nancy.
Pretty good.
That's pretty wild. So what I think is really cool about golf, believe it or not, is actually one of the most explosive, short burst athletic motions that happens anywhere in the world of sport. So I actually put the argument out that golf is much, much more like a sprint than it is like a marathon. Now, I think we can maybe go a little further and say it's a series of a ton of little burst sprints, right? But how long does a golf swing take? Yeah, like 1.3 seconds or so, right? So that a whole lot of stuff happens. A whole lot of speed, power, kinetic energy happens in a very short amount of time. I find it to be one of the most explosive sports out there. So looking at that a little bit, we get these different types of muscle fibers, right?
So basically, you've got your 3 different types of muscle fiber types. If you want to stick them up on the screen, it's the next slide.
We're going to the
There we go. So, long distance, type 1. So that's your slow twitch, oxidative, using a lot of oxygen, right? So then you've got your intermediate, type 2A. So it's got some slow twitch and some fast twitch. So that's kind of like your CrossFit athlete. They have to be quick and powerful, but they have to do it for a long amount of time. Then you've got fast twitch, short sprints. So as golfers, what do you think we want to get more of? Fast twitch, right? And how do we do that?
So based in our junior golf programs, I think, having some different types of explosive exercises, especially at those right times and those windows of trainability, is incredibly important to producing that high capacity for speed. So we call this, again, physical capacity for speed and power, we call athletic ceiling, okay? So every player has an individual athletic ceiling that's based on their genetics, because some people will have a genetic susceptibility to having more fast twitch muscle fiber, and then based on their genetic expression over their development and their training and what they've done in their junior programs, we can produce an exact athletic ceiling for every player. Now, I like to put these in 4 different categories of players, okay? The first one I call rocket fuel players. Okay, so rocket fuel players are those that hit every marker that they needed, did all kinds of explosive training throughout their entire childhood. These are your most explosive athletes on the planet. Are there a lot of these guys on the PGA Tour? I would actually say there are very few of these people, period, in the world. Okay, when you see one, they're very evident. A good example, Jason Zubek would be a fantastic example of a guy that's a rocket fuel guy. I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever seen him in person, but literally, like, when he does an exercise or makes a golf swing, I mean, it's like every vein's popping out, everything's going, it's like instantaneous snap that every single motor unit in his body is on immediately.
You can't do anything slow.
Yeah, actually, a really funny story. We were actually down at TPI teaching the level 2 power course last summer. I think we had some people in here were actually in that course, right? Were they pretty down there for this? So you can ask Mike back there. He'll tell you I wasn't lying. But it was fun. So like we were doing just a little bit of a test of like throwing a medicine ball into the ground just to see how high you can get it to bounce. Basically looking for like a test of explosive speed and power, right? So Craig Rose gives the ball to Jason. He's like, okay, Jason, show him how to do this. And just, boom, the ball goes like, 15 feet in the air. We're like, okay, that's pretty good. And it does it again. And then we start talking a little bit. And they're like, all right, wait a second. Like, you, come here. Gets a guy up there and gives him the medicine ball and says, try it. It slams the ground and goes like 4 feet off the ground. And everybody looks around like, holy shit, like, how did they even do that? But again, it's like that. Like, when you have those rocket fuel guys, every ounce of energy, they can move energy through their body so fast. Now, I would say there's a lot more of these players coming on the PGA Tour. I think you can probably make a good argument for Cameron Champ. I think that would be a good one. There's definitely guys out there that have this. I think you can make an argument for like a Justin Thomas, some of these little guys that are producing huge amounts of speed. It's not necessary, but it's going to become more and more the standard of having these higher level efficiency players out on tour. It certainly gives them an advantage. Most of the PGA Tour are in a category we call jet fuel players, okay? So this is going to be, you did a lot of good things in your athletic, upbringing. These are your guys that probably were decent, like multi-sport athletes for most of their life, could have probably played at a semi-professional level in another sport besides golf. This is the majority of what we see on the PGA Tour at this point. I think just another of those things, like they haven't quite maxed it out, but they have plenty of speed and power to be able to capitalize on elite athleticism.
Maybe they missed the speed window when they were juniors.
Absolutely. The next level would be our gasoline players, okay? Unfortunately, I think I'd probably consider myself a gasoline player. I did a lot of stuff when I was younger growing up, and then I actually got more into a completely different world from this, more in the music performance world, for a lot of times when I was in high school. So I missed a lot of those athletic windows later. That doesn't mean I can still hit the ball 285, 290 yards, but am I ever going to be Jason Zubek? I mean, probably not. Like, it's just not really in the cards. The lowest level of this is what we call diesel players. So these are your kids that, I would say just unfortunately probably missed out on most everything athletically in their childhood. If you coach a lot of adults, you've probably gotten this player in at a time, but it's hard, right? You get that player that hasn't developed a lot of coordination, hasn't developed a lot of capacity for strength and power in these things. And we can still help them have more fun with the game of golf, but I think this is a situation we want to try to avoid as junior coaches. I think we're trying to build athletes that can be higher up that chain. So this is kind of one of those wars I think we should put out there against it. Cool. So here's another just illustration, I would say, about athletic ceiling. If we look at athletic ceiling, and I'm going to just preface this and let Daisy talk about it just a little bit, but this is the good news, guys. So far, I basically told you we can't change our genetic code. If we don't hit those windows of trainability during our childhood, we might be essentially screwed to create really high level speed and power later in life. But here's actually the answer for everybody. And this is why we've seen so much success with SuperSpeed golf. It has to do with this little illustration of athletic ceiling.
Yeah, so basically, athletic ceiling means you're performing to your utmost capacity. You're performing your absolute best, right? Who in this room thinks that they perform to 100% of their athletic capabilities? No one? 75? Like it. 75? Who thinks they perform to around 75? 50? Sounds like you guys all need to do some
We're getting more hands. We don't need some people actually doing this training, right?
Yeah. So basically, you want to be able to climb up those stairs and reach your athletic potential. And how to do that is, like we've just discussed, you want to increase the rate at which you activate those muscles using those motor units. You want to increase the number of fast twitch muscles you have in your body. And you can do all this stuff through overspeed training. So
yeah, we'll talk exactly kind of how the neurological part works here. One other thing to add on this whole idea, though, is that we don't really know where the average person functions on the scale. I can just tell you through, tons and tons of clinical data watching SuperSpeed training over the last 5 years, that most everyone out there is not anywhere near the top. Like maybe 60, 70% if I had to guess. But what that means is that everybody that steps through your door has a huge capacity or a huge amount of room where they can grow and gain more speed and power. And this is if they're 70 or if they're 5, you can get them up on this chain. What are some of the things that can bring them down that ladder? Just as a little tangent. Any ideas? I heard injury, that's a big one, right? I think pain is absolutely the #1 thing in the world that'll push you down away from your athletic capacity. What's that? Lack of activity, absolutely. Couch potato syndrome, that'll do it too. Here's a really cool one. I think this one, I know I'm talking to a room of golf coaches. Trying to do things very mechanically and having things you're thinking about doing in your swing, absolutely a killer for functioning at your athletic potential. So we need to think about that. I think I do another talk that I really enjoy speaking to coaches about on motor learning and how people learn it and best ways to get results out of your players. I think too much information going in is probably one of the best ways to get a poor result out of your players during lessons. So just on a whole other note there, I think that's another piece to look at. So how do we do it? I guess that's the next piece to really talk about. How do we actually move people up the chain, get them functioning closer to their athletic capacity, increasing speed and power, and having more fun, hitting the ball further, all of those things? Well, the first time we really saw a lot of this, it was in baseball. Okay, it's kind of neat because at this point, we launched golf products first. We now actually do have baseball products. We're actually launching tennis products as well for speed and power. But we saw this first in baseball with wavy ball training with pitchers. And then we started to do even more research on it and found that this type of training, which used to be called overload-underload training, has actually been done in sports for hundreds of years. From sprinters running downhill and then uphill to change resistance, to javelin athletes, all through Major League Baseball. So that's kind of where we entered. We found that there's this scientific concept that we know that we can improve speed and power. We just wanted to know what was happening. We wanted to know why it was working for players, and we wanted to know how to optimize it. And that's really all we did launching SuperSpeed Golf, is optimize this type of training for the golf swing. So the first thing we did is we actually changed the name of it, which I think is pretty important, because I think overload underload training is not descriptive of what's actually happening. I think it's just a using a lighter and a heavier implement, right? Over speed training is really the magic of why this works, okay? And what that means, what we call overspeed, that means that when we're doing our training protocols, we want that player moving faster almost at all times than their normal golf swing, okay? So if we're swinging a golf ball and I'm training somebody for speed, they have to be moving faster than normal. I'll say it again, it's really important because there's tons of different products out there that claim to help people with speed, and they might help a certain percentage of people with speed, but if you're not moving faster than normal, you're not actually training speed. You might be training mechanics or something else, but speed training involves moving faster than normal. Our definition that we came up with 4 years ago of overspeed training is making the body move faster than normal during something it already knows how to do in order to reset how fast your body responds when your brain pulls the trigger on that motor button. How many people teach with a launch motor? Here, okay, cool. So you guys will probably agree with me on this. And you get a guy out on the range and you say, okay, hit me 5 drives, and we see what that number is, right? Then you ask him to hit, okay, I want an 80% shot. Okay? Does that go down 20 miles an hour when you ask him for that 80% shot? What's it usually do? It goes down like 1 usually, 1 or 2, right? And then you ask them, okay, let me really give me one. Let me see how far I can hit it. What does the number usually do? Usually goes down again because they have no idea how to create speed and power. That's a whole other thing you can teach in summer. What I think is really cool there is what that shows is that motor program, right, to make the golf swing, has a normal response speed to the body. Okay? And that's another really absolutely critical point. The motor program has a normal response speed in the body. What we found in our research with SuperSpeed Golf is that response speed can change. Okay? It can change because of the number of motor units that are firing. They can make it more efficient. It can also change simply by telling your brain that the body can move faster. That's what we did with SuperSpeed. So like our kits, right? They have 3 clubs in it. One's about 20% lighter than the driver, one's 10% lighter, one's about 5% heavier. Now, if I give that player the heavy one first, our research shows definitively that we'll see about a 5 to 7% decrease in swing speed if they start swinging that red club. It's heavier than the driver, right? More resistance, that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Now, if I go the other way, if I give them that one that's 20% lighter than their driver first, I'll actually see their swing speed go up by, on average, about 18 to 20%. So that means a player that starts at 100 miles an hour can swing that club like 118 to 120 miles an hour, right? Now what happens there is in just a handful of swings, your brain remembers how fast your body was just able to move, okay? We reset that normal reaction speed of the body. Then we immediately go to that club that's only 10% lighter, so we add a little load back, right? Now, again, now your brain's saying, boom, 120, I know I can do this 120 thing, right? We won't see exactly 120, but we usually still see about 115 to 160 with the blue one. Then we go to the red one, it's actually heavier than the player's driver. And I already told you, if I gave him that one first, it would slow him down. But because of this little neurological reset we just did, that player would still be swinging that red club on average about 112 miles an hour, about 12% faster than their normal swing speed. That was actually the moment where like the light bulb went off when we were researching this and we knew we had something. Because we just made somebody swing 12% faster than their normal swing speed with a club that was heavier than the club they're usually swinging. So that's kind of how that works. And then, you know, if you put all the skill elements back in, have them hit a ball and test that, and we've done this ad nauseum at this point, we'll see about an average of a 5% jump in effective club speed while hitting a ball after the very first session when they work with this product. Now, what's cool is that it's not magic. It'll go away like after a little bit of time after that first session. But we found in about 6 to 8 weeks of regular practice that will become a permanent change in that neuromuscular response speed of the body. Permanent change in swing speed. We actually now know that about 4 to 6 months down the road, you're going to see another jump in speed. We've seen players that started in the 105, 106 range, jump to 112, 113, then jump up to the 118 range. And it kind of feels weird because it's like it doesn't gradually change. It's like you'll be stagnant for a little while in the plateau phase, and then boom, you get another jump. And players love seeing that, by the way. You know, the kids love seeing that. Kids love competing with this, seeing how fast they can get those clubs to move. It's a great way to do that. So the next thing that we want to talk about, you know, kind of as we close here in a little bit, is just how we specifically do this with junior golfers. And some of the changes that we make to our normal protocols when we're dealing with your 5 to 7 year olds, your 8 to 10 year olds. 5 to 7 year olds first, and I think this is maybe my favorite protocol we have.
Yeah, so this one's a super fun protocol. So the goal with this is obviously when you're swinging these clubs, the beauty of it is that you're not actually hitting the ball, so you don't actually have to worry about it. They can just swing freely. So this is a visual representation of our super fun protocol 1. So where the green, blue, and red are, those are actually going to be hula hoops. So you'll place a green hula hoop with the green club inside of it, and you'll make kind of like an assault course setup. So then they'll move to frog jumps, and they'll actually be doing squat jumps, up as high as they can, and you're building that athleticism in the midst of them swinging golf clubs, right?
I'm just glad you didn't make me do those on stage.
So then you move to the blue hula hoop, where you'll have the blue club, and you'll do 3 swings. So now this is for your 5 to 7 year olds. So if they're able to switch their grip and swing on their non-dominant side, highly encourage it. If they're beginners, just have them do 3 swings on the dominant side, whatever you feel like they can do. It's just about getting them involved in this stuff, right? Then they'll move to board jumps, which we renamed to grasshoppers. So they'll jump as far as they can, back and forth, about 4 jumps before they move to the red station, where they have the red club. 3 swings each side. Then they'll finish off with a 15-yard cheetah sprint as fast as they can. You can even time them going through this to see if they can beat their time from last week, right? So this is our protocol 1. This is a good picture of us at the Ledbetter Academy doing it with some of these little ones here. We also have some other exercises that we can give you guys to replace the squat jumps, board jumps and sprints. If you wanted to vary it week by week, we have those resources for you too.
Yeah, think about it as just a cool little like circuit training that you can do with the kids. So, like in our programs, we always had station-based training anyway, and this is just kind of like another little version for the power speed area of that station-based junior program. But again, it's so much fun. If you have any kind of little, if you want to use little speed radars or something, they can, remember their highest speed. And, I mean, trust me, as soon as you see that stuff, like kids love doing stuff. It's actually, speed and power is one of the most fun things to train with kids, and they love doing it. They love trying to throw a ball fast or
The
swing.
parents like it too, because they're really tired by the end.
Yeah, so moving on a little bit to our protocols for our 8 to 10 year olds.
So we set up a little bit of a notch with your 8 to 12. This is our all-star protocols. So the first protocol, our level 1 protocol, you've got the normal standing position, and you're just going to do 3 swings each side with each club. Then you'll move on to the wind-up drill. So with our adults, we do the step drill, which is feet together, swing back, step out, swing through. I'm sure you guys have seen that before. But with the kids, we want to create more athleticism at a younger age, so we have them start normal, and like a baseball, they'll wind it up, step out, and then swing through. And then as you can see, as we progress 6 weeks there, 6 weeks there, 6 weeks there, we add in different drills that get harder and harder and add different components of speed. So then we have, you see the number 2 in junior level 2 is squish the bug. So for our adults, that's actually the heel stomp drill. So you'll see a lot of the long drive guys do this. When they swing back, they lift that knee up, and then they slam it into the ground with the downswing and swing through. So that helps increase the braking forces through that left side. We don't need to tell the kids this, we're just going to tell them they're going to squish a bug under their heel. Okay, so you've got a really big spider under your heel. I want you to squish it on the way down. You even have some people putting a tube of toothpaste there, and you want to squish the toothpaste out, right? Really get them to work with the ground as well. Then the last one we have added in is the running start, which is like a Happy Gilmore. And we have a pretty good example of that here with this 10-year-old. And one thing that's important to mention as you watch this is that we don't care if he falls forward. We just want him to be as aggressive as possible.
Yeah, I mean, these are great drills too, just to develop athletic coordination. Like, again, I think the worst thing you can possibly do with a junior golfer is have them very static and thinking about form and being so careful and worrying about so much of that stuff. I'd much rather see junior golfers letting it rip, just working as athletically as possible. This is how we maximize that capacity. We did a lot of consulting actually at our academy for a lot of collegiate programs, and I can't tell you how many times we'd come down to like players that they were looking at on the team, or even ones that they were recruiting, we'd see one that maybe didn't have the lowest scoring average in the world, but had just tons of power potential in there, and we knew it was there. Like, that person might not be the starter on the team right away, but they were definitely the one that, was there on some kind of scholarship that probably in a year or two might be the best player on the team. So looking at this stuff, it's huge around that whole world. So again, our goal, one of our main goals here is trying to help you guys find ways to maximize speed and power with your players as they're developing. I think it's the way to produce your players if that's something that you're interested in, or at least give those players the opportunity to be able to do any sport that they want and play at an elite level. The last thing I want to talk about, though, is how this can directly affect your business, okay? Because, look, especially on the junior coaching side, I would probably have done a lot of this stuff for free with kids. I love coaching juniors. It was one of my favorite aspects of working in academies. And I feel there's a lot of you that probably agree with me on that. The thing is, though, is that we are still in the golf business, and I think it's okay if we can produce a great product that we know is going to get results. I think it's okay for us to be making some money doing that. I think it's a good thing. We've been endorsing a program called our Speed Clinics, our SuperSpeed Speed Clinics, for about a year and a half now. I know I've talked to a number of you out of the front, but I think this is another thing that can apply directly to your existing junior program. It's basically offering a specialized program, focusing on speed and power in the golf swing. This is a picture of us doing it down at TPI with about 40 people. But the point here too is that it's easy to get a lot of people in these courses, and you end up making a decent return on these programs. The way I would recommend to do it is this, if we look at it just from a straight business model. So a little math on this. The first thing that I think we need to do with this type of program is you need to make it inclusive of not only your service, where your expertise to help people go through these protocols, help people collect data, show them their gains. I think that's very valuable. But the other thing you can do is you can actually include a set of our SuperSpeed clubs with it, okay? Because really I'd like to have people have their own so they can train with this at home, away from that clinic. So I'm looking at a 6-week clinic series, okay? You can do probably half-hour clinics. You can use all you would need to get this done, or add it into existing program. We recommend billing this at about that $350 range, so about $25 a session for the player plus a $200 SuperSpeed set, okay? Now let's just look at how that works out. We give you guys wholesale costs on our equipment, so you're making money here not only on the service element, but also on the sale of that SuperSpeed set. What it comes out to is about $2,100 in profit for a total of about 3 hours of work if you do half-hour clinics, which works out to about $700 an hour for your time. I think that's a good deal for you guys. I think it's something that you can put into play right away. The other thing that's cool about this program is that if you let's say, so 10 students is actually the average we've seen. We have about 220 clubs around the world running these programs. On average, when you market this, we'll see about a 10 student sign up for the first one. And I have a huge packet of information. If anybody's interested, just shoot us an email or leave it with us out here. I can send you the whole packet of exactly how to implement this. But on average, 10 in the first session. After that 6 weeks, we actually see that number double. Okay? We'll see the next one you run double to about 20 students. Now, if you have the room to do it at your facility, you just doubled your income for that program too. Like, you don't actually have to change anything about this. It's really quite easy to coach people through this program with a pretty high student-to-teacher ratio. I think it's pretty cool too. I actually just did I had a meeting with. I live in Denver. I had a meeting with an assistant professional at a club in Denver who was kind of interested in getting this started. We worked on how to send the newsletter out the best way, make sure it wasn't down in the 8th paragraph where nobody was going to read it. He actually did a little talk with his membership about overspeed training and how it can help them get better. And the title was, would you like to hit the ball 20 yards further before the start of season? And I think that kind of a message can be a hook to people. You said that to your parents and your juniors. Speed training, you just equate it to how important it is to getting to elite levels with golf. He got 25 people or so started with this thing. In 3 weeks, he's already got 50 people running through this program. I actually had 3 clubs last year, in the course of all of last year, that did over $40,000 in coaching revenue just with the Speed Clinic program. So if it's not something you guys have already implemented in your club, I just would say give it a try. I can't hurt. I think you're going to have a lot of fun with it. I think it's going to be a big moneymaker for you as well. Okay, guys. Well, I just wanted to thank you again for having us. We really appreciate you listening to us talk about all this stuff for a little while. If there's any questions, we're happy to take them until they kick us off. Perfect.
Just a little question from the training on the opposite side and work and what physically I know it's going to be exactly why.
Okay, there's a few different pieces we can talk about there. Daisy, you want to take some of it?
Yeah,
I'll jump in. Yeah, this is cool stuff.
All right, so if you were to go to the gym, would you do 10 bicep curls on your right arm and then just go home? No. I mean, if you do, then you're going to have one side way bigger than the other, right? And which is what happens in the body of the golf swing. So if you're beating balls, and I learned from experience, being a junior golfer, playing for my country, the amount of balls that I hit was actually slowing me down. So by switching it up, and Mike's had great success with this with his juniors, they should be able to play left-handed and right-handed for a well-balanced body. There's also some other bits as well as balance in muscles. There's braking forces, right? So if your right side is used to contracting your dominant side a certain way, so this whole left side of my body is used to contracting a certain way, well, when you turn it round, it's contracting the opposite way. So you're building up a stronger contraction, and suddenly when you turn around, you go to your dominant side, the muscles learn that contraction and you unleash the speed. I've just had one guy who's had an injury in his elbow and he couldn't swing on his dominant side, so he just did non-dominant swings for 6 weeks and he gained 10 miles per hour on his dominant side. So the balancing muscles is
Yeah, so let me add just a little bit to that. So how many people here are familiar with the kinematic sequence, right? Rotational sequencing. So you know how when you see the kinematic sequence, and you see like the lower body of the pelvis line start to accelerate, and then all of a sudden it drops down suddenly or decelerates in professional players, right? Now, if you've worked with this with amateur golfers, you will notice that that does not always happen. In fact, you get a lot of variance in how these different segments actually peak in speed, or some of them just keep going. They don't even really peak or stabilize. So what that is when your lower body fires, right? It doesn't just keep firing forever. It just doesn't keep going. You spin around in a circle. It has to stop, right? What we know is that the faster that can stop, we call this the big break theory, the faster that your lower body can stop, the more energy can transfer to the next segment of the chain, okay? We know the same thing happens in the torso, the arm, and all that. So it's about a transfer of energy. So what happens when you swing on the non-dominant side, when I make a backswing, I'm a right-handed golfer, so I make a backswing left-handed, I load into my left side, right? So what that does is it helps activate muscles, it helps, as Jay-Z was saying, works on the strength of the contractions of those muscles. That then becomes the lead side of my golf swing when I go back to my dominant side. With that greater stability on the lead side, I now have the ability to transfer a lot more energy. So it's actually one of the fastest ways, if you have somebody that has poor deceleration chain in their kinematic sequence, it's one of the fastest ways to improve that with a player is to work on swings on the non-dominant side. Cool. Any other questions? Yeah, absolutely. You can see a number of the different sets sitting in here. Our smallest set is based on a 30-inch driver. We actually based it around the 30-inch US Kids driver in the ultralight series for the weight. But yeah, 30-inch set, that's going to be about your 5 to 7-year-olds. We actually like to err light. Like, I'd rather if somebody has a 32, 34-inch driver, they're still in the 30-inch set, even though it's going to get a little lighter. That's way better than getting heavy. Heavy is death for kids. Heavy is death to mechanics, injuries, everything about it. Heavy is death. I think that's kind of that's a pretty common theme nowadays. But then we go up to a set that's 38 inches. It's about your 8 to 10-year-olds. We have a set that's 41 inches in length. That's going to be your early high school kids playing those ultralight shafts, not quite up to a full adult length club. Then we have a ladies and senior set that is going to be full 45 inches, but it's going to also be based around a driver that has like an ultralight shaft in it, and that like 45 to 60 gram range. And then our men's set is based around a standard men's driver, about 315 toe grams. Cool.
Thank you very
All
much.
right. Thank you guys.